Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching, and your host on this series. This is the place where you ask a question, and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. Please know, however, that I am not a therapist, and I will never tell you what you must do. Each week on Friday, a new video is released with me answering 2 questions from the viewers. I'll also give insights on other topics, life renewal topics, such as how the universe works, consciousness, astrology, and various other life renewal topics. So let's go ahead and get started with today's questions. Now, both of the questions today come from the same source, Mal in Port Angeles, Washington. Her first question is, there are so many spiritual teachers who sound good, but there are also stories of people who abuse or scam their followers. What recommendations do you have to choose a good mentor or teacher? That is another fantastic question. Thank you, Mal, for sending it in. And, the answer to this question, it's actually pretty straightforward, but I need to break it down for you. First of all, you have to pay attention to your instincts. Our instincts, our instincts never fail us. The question, or actually the issue is, a lot of times we override or overrule our instincts. They will tell you typically initially whether the person is someone you should work with or not. Now, with instincts, you do need to, if you haven't worked with them or developed them over time, you need to have a backup, or actually a couple of backups. The next step after instincts is, for each of us, we have at least one person in our lives who we trust, who are really good with their intuition, with knowing whether someone is good for you or not. They have a heightened sense of knowing about people. They just are really good with knowing whether a person's intentions are good or not. What I would do is enlist the help of this person or a couple of people, if you have a few people in your life who is like this. Run by them what your intent, the person that you're intending to study with, and see what they think. Get their initial opinion. And a lot of times, this is the second step. The third thing that you can do is, of course, this is your discernment. And this is separate from, well, not quite separate from instincts because it works hand in hand really with instincts. But if you haven't developed your instincts, then this level of discernment will also work. And the level I'm referring to is research, doing your homework to find out what you can about this person. Talk to people who've worked with them. See if there are any reviews. See what people are saying about them. And, but above all, you really need to pay attention to how you feel when you are around this person. Another thing that you can do, and I highly recommend this, is engaging the help of your spirit guides. We all have them. We have more than one. And you can ask your spirit guides to inform you as to whether or not this person has ill intent where you are concerned. That your spirit guides will get this information to you in various ways. Sometimes it's you'll get what I call a download, but really it's more of a how do I put this? It's more of a knowing in your mind. You'll get a feeling that will come over you. That's your spirit guides are giving you the answer to your question. Sometimes they'll do it in the form of an animal, or maybe an animal is doing something that they wouldn't ordinarily do. Uh, this is related to sign and symbol, so I won't get too deep into that, but asking your spirit guide for information on this person as far as whether or not you should work with this person, you will get the information there. So, intuition, your instincts, really, that's the first line. Having a friend vet the person is the second thing you can do. Third thing is your discernment, doing your own homework and research on this person. And the fourth, which is really, that should be the first thing you should do actually, is talking to your spirit guides, because they know whether or not this person has ill intent where you are concerned. So that's what I would do. Now, speaking of spirit guides, we all have them. And as I said a few minutes ago, we have usually more than one. Now, we have at least one guide who is with us from our birth. A lot of times there's two who are with us from our birth, and they walk through this life with us, and they do their best to try to guide us. Sometimes they put hindrances in our way to keep us from hopefully making bad choices. Sometimes we make the bad choices anyway. Sometimes we make good choices, but they are there. And if you don't know who yours are, start a conversation with them. Just, not when you're out in public out loud, start talking to them and asking them for guidance. Ask them to let you know that they are there, and they will. It's amazing. Sometimes they'll come in your dreams. Sometimes they will put a book in your path. Um, there's many ways that guides will work with us, but I mean, the point is they're with us for a reason, and they're here to help us. And if we utilize their help, number one, they would be happy to help us, um, because that's why they're here. So please reach out to them. Now, that's all I want to say about that, at least on this particular video. I'll probably come back to the topic another time, but let's go on and look at our next question. Our next question is, of course, still from Mal, and she says, are daily practices really necessary? There are so many suggestions like meditation or rituals to do, but I get busy and tired and think I'll do stuff on the weekend, and then I forget. This is also another good question. And please don't beat yourself up if you are not doing any type of practices. That it's not worth it. It doesn't serve you or anyone else to do that. Now, my answer to this is you don't have to do daily practice. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. If you want to do daily practice and you're having difficulty, you can always set a timer. I like timers. So, for example, if you want to, because my idea of doing practices would be, of course, practicing staying in the present moment for at least a minute. So set your timer to go off periodically during the day. You can set it on your phone. And so what happens is when the timer goes off, that's your prompt to actually be in the present moment for as long as you can. And then you go on, do your business, whatever it is you're doing. And then the timer goes off again, maybe a few hours later, and practice staying in the present moment. To me, when you are busy, extremely busy, like most of us are, it's very difficult to actually do a formal practice. Even when you say you want to do a formal practice, it's difficult. So, setting yourself up for success is the best way that I know to actually have follow through. And timers work really well with that. Another thing that you can do is have a buddy or a friend. Now, I love to walk with my friends. Why? Because I actually do it. When I don't have a friend walking with me, I can fall off the wagon in a heartbeat. I get really busy, just like you do. So, if there is practice that you want to do, it's always good to have someone else who wants to do that same practice and you schedule a time. When you have somebody else you're working with, you're going to show up. Now, that said, the universe doesn't ask us to practice every day. Um, it, I mean, and it also depends on what it is you want to do. What is your purpose? Are you working on meditation? Is there a particular reason that you want to do rituals? Sometimes rituals can be done once a month on the new moon, or maybe you want to do them twice a month on the new moon and the full moon. But whatever your reasoning is, you set yourself up for success. Enlist the help of a friend, set a timer, put it on your calendar where you can't forget it. Schedule it on your calendar, on your hopefully your calendar on your phone so that it pops up. But as I said, daily practices are not necessary. I mean, getting up in the morning and saying a little bit of a prayer before you get out of bed, that's enough. Um, asking for help. Unless you're planning on doing a puja, which we'll talk about at another time, or there's something specific or some specific ritual that you want to do, you don't have to do practices every day. So I hope that answers your question. And I thank you all for coming to my YouTube station and listening to this video. If you have a question that you want me to answer for you, please email me at padmacoach@icloud.com. If you want to learn more about me, you are welcome to read my memoir, which is And the Lotus Opened, a memoir. I'll put links below to the memoir and to email me your questions. I am also available as a life renewal coach and astrologer. So that is it for this session. I thank you. I thank all of you for showing up here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.